710 ESPN Seattle presents Bob and Groz's One More Thing.
Powered by the law offices of Heidi Hunt.
Suddenly, the Mariners are an international feel-good story. You know, as we're in September now and the call-ups have happened, Rockstar Bob, the Mariners are, kind of trundling off to their land. Yeah,
they're out of it. It's over.
Occasionally you have nights like last night where if you feel like spending a Felix night, he'll deliver.
Good game.
He did. But have you noticed all these feel-good stories that they're kind of coming down the stretch with?
Talking the young guys that are succeeding, or what are you talking about?
That's a natural one, right? I mean, we watch the young guys all year long. Ackley hitting over 300.
10-game hitting streak.
Smoke a couple of hits the other night. I mean, all that stuff. But no, Alex Liddy's one of them.
Was he the first Italian-born player to play in the major leagues in 50 years? Or?
Yeah, but you know what? I did a little bit of research on that, mainly just reading Jeff Baker's blog in the Times.
Way to dig deep.
But as it turned out, that was enough to answer the question. Yeah, it's such a chump thing, though. He's second to a guy, I forget the guy's name, but a guy who was born in Italy and moved to Canada when he was 1 year old. So really, the only Italian-born player in baseball before Alex Liddy was born in Italy but did not grow up there.
Okay.
Wasn't Italian, whereas Alex Liddy, kind of like Ichiro. I mean, he's got apparently there's some Italian reporters following him and everything like that. His family is coming out from there. I mean, he really is an Italian.
So we're calling him number one. He's the first.
I think that's number one, don't you?
It works for me. He's number one.
Then you remember Tom Wilhelmsen earlier in the year, the guy who was, a bartender?
Former bartender. He was a pro ball player and decided, that's it. I'm done with this.
Which I'm
going to 10 bar.
It was a cool story, right? I mean, he had Jack Zarenzik knew him from Milwaukee. We did our first broadcast outside the stadium right before the season game. He drove up on his bike.
Yeah, came riding up on his bike, flashed the peace sign. And
it was cool.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he spent most of the year down in the minors. He wasn't quite ready. They got another one going, and this one is a movie one. This is everyone probably remembers the Jim Morris story and the guy who played for Tampa. They made a movie out of it, how he was like 35 years old, had given up his dream and everything like that. Well, Steve Delabar.
Quaid, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Steve Delabar is the guy I'm talking about now, whose dream just died, basically. I mean, he was drafted in 03. He tore. I mean, his elbow was in really bad shape. In 2009, they asked him to go out and pitch. He did. It popped, and then he looked down, and he saw it coming out.
That's never a good sign.
That's it. It's kind of game over at that point. He's in Elizabethtown, Kentucky, which I could just imagine, the backwater that is. He's helping out the baseball team there. His career is over. Now, he's helping out the baseball team. He's coaching, and there's this new system that comes out that, it's about increasing your velocity that some guy has written about, and they're going to apply it to the team. And Steve Delabar says, well, before I let you do that, I want to check it out for myself. I mean, I played ball. It's been, I'm not going to hurt myself. It's been, a year or two since I really pitched because I broke my elbow or tore my elbow up, but it's okay now. And before I have the kids do it, I'd like to do it.
Yeah.
It's like kind of a responsible coach thing to do when it comes right down to it.
Seems like the right approach.
Well, he does it, and after a couple of weeks, he's throwing 95. And so the guy who's his buddy, who's the coach with him, calls, I guess he knew a scout in the Mariner organization, calls a scout in the Mariner organization who comes out, watches him throw, puts a gun on him. I think, I did research on this, and it was Jeff Baker's blog again.
Again, you dug really deep.
Thanks, Jeff. But again,
it was the research, Jeff.
It was all there. It was all there. I mean, Baker has a habit of covering all the bases.
You didn't look any further after Jeff Baker.
And it's just, it's such a great story. And so he's 95, 96. So it tells the story. Then they get in a bus, and they're going on a 7.5-hour trip to Alabama to play a game from Elizabethtown, Kentucky. And he's on the phone with the Mariner scout the whole way, setting this whole thing up. So it happens. Now, he never made it farther than A-ball. He joins High Desert. I think his first game, he's terrible. He's thinking, what am I? He's 28. What am I doing here? Everyone at High Desert is probably 19 or 20 years old.
Teenagers, kids.
He throws a little bit better. He goes, they promote him to Double-A. He's like, I've never made it to Double-A. What the hell? He's very good at Double-A. He gets promoted to Tacoma. In Tacoma, 10 appearances, 0.69 ERA, 18 strikeouts in 13 innings. And this is, for him, it's the great story. Mariners called him up yesterday. Said he tried to call his dad, but couldn't even get the words out.
Wow.
Now that's
a reason to watch. That's a reason to feel
good story.
It's a reason to feel good about the Mariners. It's not all about wins and losses. There are good stories surrounding this team.
Go Steve, and you know any Italian?
No. Ciao.
Ciao, Alex.